Hello and welcome. Henning Pauli here. You're watching HP42. I know I'm saying this because many of you don't get that. Hey, if you are an old fart, this is your video. If you're a young fart, it might also be your video. But if you're into the more traditional guitar in a slightly higher price range, if you're into the finer things in life, then you might want to come to probably one of the most premier guitar stores that I've ever visited. I would say in the heart of Europe, but that's not true, kind of on the left of Europe. We are in the Netherlands at the Fellowship of Acoustics, which is in a little town called... I don't remember, but we got here and it's absolutely gorgeous, as you're gonna see right now. It's in an old municipal building where the mayor, pretty much the, what did we call it, Leslie? City Hall. This right here, right over there, that used to be City Hall. And then later, I'm gonna say probably in the 60s or 70s, they built this bit on. And 10 years ago, it was purchased by the Fellowship of Acoustics. And now they're housing just the most amazing guitars here. This is not your store if you're into 8-string Genty fan frets or into budget gear. But if you are interested in really nice guitars from a variety of brands that make really, really nice stuff, European manufacturers as well as US, then this is a place to come, because you're gonna come here. There's not a lot else to do in this town other than come here, start with a coffee, bring your buddies, and you hang out all day, and you're gonna test and test and test. You're allowed to play everything until you have the guitar that you always wanted, where you say, this is where my money should go. Come in. It's also a music school, and they have a venue for workshops and stuff like this, but it's definitely a very, very, very unique shop. So right here, we are not yet in the shop. We have a little diner, and you can see the whole feel is very 70s kind of official building. But are you really interested in that? Music school is up there. Some offices for marketing and purchasing. You don't care about this. Guitars arrive right here, get checked out for the first time, but obviously there's a pre-check, there's a middle check, there's an end check, there's a once in a while we just want to play a guitar and check it, check. So, follow me. It is misleading. It says the Fellowship of Acoustics. However, it's also the Fellowship of Amps and the Fellowship of Electrics and a little bit Fellowship of Pedals. So over here is their service department, and that is a very unique service department because the luthiers working there, they don't just, change strings and let's adjust the neck a little bit. If you have a pre-war Martin worth $250,000 and you live in Nicaragua, what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna send it to someone to be serviced and adjusted that really knows what they're doing. You need a specialist in old gear, you need a specialist in high-end gear, you need a specialist in how these guitars were built, and this is what they have here. If you're buying a very high-end guitar, they're gonna look after it. If you own a very high-end guitar from the olden days, they're gonna look after it. So you can also send your guitars here. They're also one of the few shops that have a pleck machine in-house. So if you need something plecked, you're not gonna pleck your old Martin, don't be an idiot. This building, this is a segue, by the way. This building used to have a vault with a big vault door. And they still have the vault with a big vault door, and they're calling it the vault. Follow me in the vault. In here are everything in this building is special. In here are the even more special guitars. And I was told I can lick no. He didn't say lick. What did he say? I can touch anything. And that's a big thing in this store. You don't want to go into a custom shop, high-end experience, and then always like, oh, can I take this off the wall? Or, please don't touch signs. No. I'm a little bit scared because it says 21,000 euro on this guitar. 21,000 euro. It's got a very V neck. Holy crapola. It's a, I don't even know what this is. Martin Roy Rogers commemorative edition. It says 21,000 bucks, but nobody is coming to tackle me. And not because I'm this famous influencer, because I'm not. It's nice. Is it 21,000 euro nice? I don't know. It's nice. If you play it wrong, like that, it still sounds horrible. But that's me. Now, where else can you go and play a guitar for 21,000 bucks and just have that experience? Then you know, maybe you don't want a guitar for 21,000 bucks, or you know, better sell your car. Very V-neck on this. So, very nice things. There's a Nick Huber here. This is, of course, an amazing Dolphin for only 15 grand. Nick obviously makes absolutely stunning stuff. Oh, this is a beautiful rosewood neck, just like on the guitar he's making for me, whenever he's making it. Gorgeous one-piece, super flamey mahogany on there. I mean, Nick's got amazing wood. And Leslie knows how to film it. You like it, Leslie? What do you think? Too stripy? Brownie stripy? Let me ask you this. Would you spend 15 grand on this? No. No, she says no. But also because Leslie doesn't know shit, of course we would spend 15 grand on this. An oldified Fender bass. And then when we look through the shelves here, there's many more beautiful things in cases, and the price tags are according. Here we got, there's 15,000. Here we got 32,000. That's a Gibson 335. Gretsch. Santa Cruz. Hey Mark, you should come here and spend your Disney money. Mark Mancina has a lot of nice things. He would walk out here with more nice things. Now there's a collection of pedals. It's a basic collection of pedals, I would call it. That's a good one. And that's a good one. Yeah, they've got good ones. And then they have the reissue Marshalls. I don't know why. But let's call it, it's a basic collection. You don't come here for pedals, let's just say that, okay? This is kind of stuff you need if you need to check certain things out. And if you're grabbing a guitar for 15 grand, you might as well pick up 1 or 2 Vemoram drives. Why not? Obviously, all the different acoustic pickup systems you would ever want, and obviously you get them installed here. If the guitar that you're buying doesn't have an acoustic pickup system, they can help you out. We got strippy strappies, and one thing we of course need to point out, which by now you've seen in the product shots, the location is ridiculous. I mean, there's a park behind the house. Thank you, Leslie. There's an actual park behind the house, and pretty much wherever you are in the Fellowship of Acoustics, you're going to test guitars with this as your backdrop. That is insane in the membrane, as Marco Rubio would say, if you get that reference. Here we get, now I want a Fellowship of Acoustics leather jacket. Leslie, what do you think? In M? How would I look in a very light Fellowship of Acoustics leather jacket? In M, which is really not my size. How do I look? Sexy? If you always wanted a Fellowship of Acoustics, this is so difficult to say, I'm trying to earn my money here. If you wanted a Fellowship of Acoustics leather jacket, then you can get it right here. I actually now want it, but not in M. Because, me fat. What else do we have? Books. Obviously any kind of strings you need. Do they have the new Elixir Attune strings? Elixir Acoustic, but not the Attunes. because we just buried those in the backyard and they're good. I can only recommend them because after 3 weeks in the mud, they sounded new. So we actually get into guitars now. So we got a corner with what I would call Telesis and Telesis. Interesting, there's an Ibanez. Is that a used one? Because I haven't seen any other Ibanez here. I don't know. Nope, it isn't. That's the Josh Smith one in a weird cream. So we have some Fenders here, of course, but I would say they try to balance. It's not just like Fender, 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 waving the Fender flag, which again they have, but more like the custom shoppy stuff. But they have Sur, there's an Ibanez, they have Kaufmann, they have Eastman, and some very nice. Kaufmann is a Dutch company. So if we look behind us here, look at this. That is a absolutely gorgeously, oh my God, this is light. Gorgeously aged Tele, beautiful aging on the fretboard. I like the headstock, and honestly, folks, if you could lift this, I mean, look, I'm holding it. 3 fingers. This is possibly the lightest electric guitar I've ever had in my hands. That is so nice, and it's $2,200. Whoa! It rings! Hey, what is this? Deltone. De Jong, Deltone. Also, super cool aging. Blue over sunburst. This aging is really, really nicely done. Beautiful S-type guitar, let's call it that. For $2,100, that's not bad at all. Impressive. Another black Kaufmann and this blue Kaufmann. Look at this. Again, super, super light. Beautiful fluorescent color, but beautifully aged. Just a very, very cool guitar. Again, for like $2,200. So they give you options to the big brands while also giving you the big brands. Here, of course, we have the big brands, but here we got more. What do we have here? Iconic, Kaufmann, Deltone. So if you are shopping for, let's say, a Strat, and you had your heart set on a ripped down Fender custom shop for $9,000. You might want to try some other brands, and you might walk home with a guitar you love more that doesn't say Fender on it. Of course, this doesn't look like it belongs to the guitar. This looks way too new. But other companies also make good stuff. So at the Fellowship of Acoustics, you can test against others. This is probably here the most modern corner. And again, look at the backdrop. I mean, you can sit on this blue couch, which of course sounds better than non-blue couches, and just enjoy the day. Bring your wife. She's gonna love hanging out with you in the guitar shop all day long, and just listen to you and your friend talk about what? Leslie's shaking her. I don't know why. Why are you shaking your head? Your wife's just gonna have the best day, probably dropping you off here and picking you up 5 hours later while she goes somewhere the fuck else. And also, that was sexist. Maybe you're dropping off your wife to shop here because female guitar players exist and they know how to play. Okay, moving on. What do we have here? We got Sur, beautiful Surs. That's a B guitar, black and yellow. This is probably a very expensive one because it looks like one of the old Pensa Surs. That is a Pensa custom for only 10 grand. Okay, Mayonnaise. So that's probably the most modern you can expect here. The Mayonnaise, the Sur Modern. There's an offset that's cool aged. And then here we got some Music Mans. We got some Lukes. Ball Family Reserve stock. This is a weird one, Stingray 2 with gold. I don't know what I think about that. 2800. Here we get an Aquila, which now Mayonnaise makes aged. I mean, not quite the same aging that you have from on the Kaufmanns, but these are great guitars. And one of my dream guitars, honestly, is an Aquila with a Wenge neck. And what do we have here? An Aquila with a Wenge neck. Look at this. This is such a gorgeous guitar. It's just very dark purple. So on video it barely shows up. But that's one hell of a guitar. And then over here, guitars are just being wheeled around in big cages. We want free range guitars, not cage guitars. 4,200 for this Aquila. Get it now while it's hot. We are moving into this corner. What do we have here? Dominget? No, ooh, that's a cool kind of whatever that is. Fano. Bacchus. Oh, Seth makes amazing guitars. I really want one of his Les Paul type guitars. Oh, this is light. And look at that color. And that's the nice thing. Right here, you've got, the natural light. Oh, Seth Bacchus. This is such a beautiful guitar. I know it's all broken and shit. And this clocks in at 3,500. I like it. So, where else can you find these kind of brands? There are 3 Fanos here. Nowhere. We got amps. Probably not the most well-rounded amp collection here. This is more like a guitar store, less of an amp store. But there are some. We got some boogies, magnetones, your basic Marshall collection. There's Bad Cats, there's a Sur, there's a older Archon, PRS. Definitely stuff to test with. Any of your high gain Persuasion? No, not really. So I know they have a ref stacked away somewhere. Can you get a great amp here? Absolutely. But it's probably not where you go to test out any kind of amp versus the other amps, because the amp collection isn't the biggest. However, I just see that they have the modified 59 Marshall. So if you want to check out one of these guitars with an insane clean tone and also really cool rock sounds, that's probably a good choice, because that's a killer amp. And I should know, I use it all the time. Here we've got the Purses. Purs, tough to say. This kind of looks like an SE, but I doubt that they have SEs. But that's got the simplicity of an SE. So what is this? You see, I'm taking this off the wall, no one's tackling me. It's an S2 for 1,600. That's why it looks like this. More simple. So now I touched it and now it's got fingerprints on it. Probably also an S2. S2 for sure. A standard, okay. Oh, some nice guitars here. Come on. Huh? Whoa. Now, from the top it looked dark, but I mean, look at this. Okay, this I'm in love with. Not the fact that the neck is painted, that doesn't really, but it's a maple neck, and now I get it. Whoa, it's on sale. So how much is it? Only 6,300. Leslie, can I get this one? Nope, I'm getting a nope. In most shops, a guitar for 6,300 honestly would be in the custom shop room. You wouldn't be allowed to touch without a shop guy present, all that stuff. And here, they really don't have a lot of other things. So you come here as a customer who wants to do this. But if you come here with your kid and your kid wants to check something out, their philosophy is, yeah, the kid might not buy a guitar for this much money, but in 15 years, we will still be their shop because they had an amazing experience, and then they have the money to buy it. Arrogance in custom shops is something we talked about, and I absolutely will never stand for it. A shop where it says don't touch, that's bullshit. These are tools. They're supposed to be touched. And here at the Fellowship of Acoustics, they let you touch them. What do we have here? This is a limited 40th anniversary in satin charcoal. Interesting. Collings, and I saw this earlier. This is interesting from the side because it's got the little leg shape there. Really haven't seen that. So when you have this on your leg, it molds to your body. Straightforward, very simple guitar, but it's a Collings. So I'm assuming, yep, this is 4,900 euro. Okay, Collings is a bit crazy pricing wise, but I hear that they're among the best. I hear they're very, very, very good. And that's what you expect. Eastmans, interesting Strat variations. Oh, this is a nicely aged one. We know the Eastmans, of course, they're made in China by a very, very good company that actually is very well known for lots of brass stuff. This is super interesting. Leslie, what do you see here? Huh? It's got a pick guard that is actually in the top. They made a recess for the pickguard. I've never seen that. That is absolutely stunning. The guitar is also very, very light. It's got a 2-point neck. This is very interesting. Oh, it's not an Eastman. What am I saying? It is. But
it's a combination.
What? Explain this to me. It's an Eastman, but it says made by Kaufman, because I've had Eastmans and this doesn't make sense.
It's the Eastman,
yep.
Manufactured by Kaufman and relic, but its parts are from Eastman.
And then Kaufman takes it and does their thing.
Yeah, so that's why there's this cool relic, which you normally don't see on Eastman.
I was gonna say this isn't Eastman style, yeah. But this recessed pickguard is very unique. So how much do we have to pay for it? Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Very great guitar.
That's a super cool guitar. Definitely cool. And then this stealth silver blue with the aluminium pickguard, that is super cool. Is that also Eastman made by Kaufman? Probably not. That's just Eastman. I stabbed it in the ceiling. Here's a car, because why not? My question is, how did they get the car in here? I don't see any. How did they get the car in here? Piece by piece? That is weird. Then we've got a red Fender amp, $9.99. Fender Hot Rod DeVille, absolutely killer amp. The Fender Hot Rods never go to the second channel, but use the first channel and you've got gold. Yeah, why not have a car in your high-end guitar shop? Here, I'm going to talk about this for a millisecond because you know what I think about it, but I think it's relevant to tell you guys, if you are looking for a Les Paul by a company with a G, we have a whole wall of them. This is how much we will talk about this. If you're looking for a company made with an E, which is related to the G, we have half a wall of it, but we also have the E's, the other E's. We've got the Eastmans, which are absolutely killer guitars. I had an SV, I think I had this for a long time, great guitar. But you know, sometimes guitars have to move on. Eastmans is what you should be checking out here. Bang for the buck is gonna kill the rest, for sure. We're making our way around. Here we got hollow bodies. We got Eastmans, we got some G's, and that's all I see for now. So nice hollow body selection. We've got a hollow body table. You can hang out, check out here, and you're not gonna bother anyone, nobody's gonna bother you. This has so many little corners where you can hang out and just check out guitars. What they should have though, I think would be cool, to have some plug-in like Tonex plugs or Beam solos, where you can easily just plug in with headphones and just play around because you don't see amps here. There are test rooms, yes, but I think wherever you sit down, they should have a couple of Tonex plugs or something like this, just to play by yourself a little bit. Here are the dog bowls with a lot of slobber around it, where our dogs just had some water, because it's a dog-friendly place. What do we have here? We've got Collings. I'm afraid to look at the pricing, because again, Collings, oh, 9,500. Okay, of course. But again, where can you check out Collings? Now we got Nick Huber, we got the traditional Crowdster here, which used to clock in at $3,000, and now we're at 4,800. We got a Silverburst Crowdster. We got an Orca with a seahorse in it, 6,500. And I mean, if you're looking for a Les Paul type guitar, and you're here anyway, and I know you were looking for a G, you owe it to yourself to check out the Orca 59 from Nick, because it probably will kill any other G-type guitar. This one's a little bit off. This is a hollow body Dolphin. Nick knows how to make guitars. There are more Collings. What do we have around the corner here? I don't even know what that is. Is it an Eagle? Yep, this is a Patrick James Eagle. Super light. Absolutely ultra gorgeous guitar. A little bit over 5. Quite a bit over 5. But it's an Eagle. They are very good. And again, where can you check these out? And if you're in the market for an Eagle and you always wanted one, don't you owe it to yourself to go play this against some traditional Gs and maybe a Huber and a Collings, and just know that you made the right decision. And maybe you walk out with a different guitar, but then again, you fell in love with something even cooler for you, right? Oh, this Eagle is stunning. Look at this top. I mean, it's yellow. I always think, you could be more original than the yellow. But I like the hollow inlays. Again, stunning guitar. Even cheaper than the other one. Some Gretscheses, more Gretscheses, scratch. Big jazz guitar corner here with companies Straub, Elfrink, Stanford, Eastman, Knight. I don't know them. This is the boot, as they say in England, or the trunk, as they say in the US, where for some reason there are strings. I don't understand why there are strings in the trunk, but there are. I open up the snip side. The album has another snip side. Got some more very unique hollow bodies here. Godin. And then this is just, this weighs nothing. Like literally it weighs nothing. And then look at all the holes. That's probably why it's cheaper, because, they use less wood. But then look at the wood in the back. Holy crap-tastic. And then a super unique way to do the tuners here. I've already seen so much stuff here that I've never seen anywhere else. We're back to Eastman. Don't know what that is. Iconic. Super beat up, probably Eastman by Kaufman. Yep. That is, if you're looking for beat up, that it is. Very, very cool stuff. And you know what? We're not even halfway through. So this is the bass corner, or this is the lefty corner. I think they have more lefties. If this was not a lefty, I don't care what lefty would say, I would buy it, because look at this blue. This is absolutely ridiculous. beautiful birds. And then look at this neck. It's a wood library. Holy crap, such an amazing guitar. I would absolutely, 7,500. Yeah, I might not. But that is, where do you find this as a lefty? Nowhere. You find it at the Fellowship of Acoustics in Eich. Super, super cool stuff. And then a bass 6 from Novo. Holy crap, that's one hell of a thing. We've got Strandberg, beautiful German company. We got Music Man, more Strandberg lefty. Strandberg 5, but short scale. This looks like a smaller bass. That is a strange ass bass. California, Rockford. This feels smaller. She said, interesting. Dingwall, and that looks like a Dingwall custom shop. I also just like to say Dingwall. And obviously you rightfully will say, well, but Henning, the Fellowship of Acoustics, this was all electrics. Obviously it all started with acoustics. The owner went to the US, bought some acoustics, came back here and found out these go up in price. People can't even get these old Martins and stuff here. So this is how it all started, and it grew. Then they bought this building. Oh, by the way, there are the test rooms over there where you'll see people disappearing in them. So it's nice that you can crank up somewhere. That's how they turned into the Fellowship of Acoustics, and obviously it then also turned into electrics, but the acoustic portion is ridiculous. If you're buying anything high-end acoustic, this is a place that you owe to yourself to check out. But we can't forget about this wall. It's kind of how our journey started, because I wanted a Novo, and I worked with Novo, I worked with Fellowship of Acoustics, and I'm pretty sure you won't find a Novo selection like this anywhere. All good. In Europe. They're probably Europe's premier Novo dealer. Who has, that's this 8, who has 11 Novos in stock? It was 12, but they had to ship me one. And they're of course getting more in stock, and they're taking your custom order, who's then communicated to Novo, and you're getting your custom order, because Novo does everything. If you're saying I want this, but I want it with silver pickups and a Perloid and not mother of turtle butt, they will make this, right? You can say I want this color over this color, please age it accordingly. So Novo will do all these custom things, but the one thing that Novo stands for is any of them just sounds ridiculously phenomenal. And yeah, they are not cheap guitars. 5,300, 4,900, absolutely. In the scope of the shop, they're about right in the middle. So I would say, if you're the guitar player who can't afford this kind of stuff, why even come here? It's a great day out. Gonna make friends and an experience. You will find out why these guitars are these prices. You will find out, oh, maybe I don't need this because I play metal and my Ibanez is totally fine for me. But you could also find out that there's something about guitars that you never knew of, and just save up and come back and buy one, right? Because most of the times our ideas about expensive guitars are based on an assumption, and we've never actually played them. Here you can, and that's the thing. Make the experience and then come back some other day when you can actually afford it. Now we are in the old building. This is kind of like an old plantation farmhouse building. And well, you know, we're in Holland, colonial, that kind of stuff. And they moved all the acoustic stuff in here because it really just vibes with the building. The old furniture. And we're gonna tell you the little story about the carpets. So when they bought this, a gypsy jazz player said to the owner, hey, you need these old carpets, you know, beat up, old Persian rugs. I've got 40 of them, I can sell them to you. And the owner was like, well, I don't have the money. So they traded 2 guitars. At some point, that guitar player needed some money, sold the guitars back, which at that point were worth twice as much roughly. So pretty much the carpets then were at this point free. Love that story. He bought this desk from the man that actually was working in this office, the right hand to the mayor. And it's such a lovely atmosphere. You want high-end mandolins? All your companies from the G to the E to the N to Collings, of course. And again, Collings is gonna clock in at... I've never touched a 6,300 euro mandolin. But here I'm allowed to. Holy crap, 6,300 euro mandolin. You have to be a serious mandolin player too. You need tiny, tiny fingers. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna put this back before I break it. But again, you don't see people chasing you. You don't see people standing around checking loads more mandolins. I mean, honestly, if you're into buying a high-end mandolin, where else are you gonna go? If you're into resonator guitars, where else are you gonna go? Have I mentioned Fellowship of Acoustics enough? I don't know. I don't know how many times it says in my contract that I have to say Fellowship. Does it count if I say it wrong? Fellowship of Acoustics. They didn't make it easy for themselves with a name. This is a vintage Feuerlöscher, as we say. It's old, very old style. Made by Fender in the... Leslie's shaking it. No? I also right now don't know what Feuerlöscher is in English. Fire extinguisher, thank you. Art. So, classical. We've got Loden, that's what I see. We've got Godin up there. And of course, many of them don't actually say the names, because then I don't know. We got a Taylor there. So also for the classical players, it's all there. Since I'm not one, I'm going to run out of this room. And here is their vintage room. So they also buy and trade in some vintage instruments, not massively loads, but they have them. And sometimes they go up for auction. So we have old Höfner, there's some Gs, there of course are some Fenders. Here's a massively beat up old Fender with a very weird paint spot. On the website it looked like there's just a hole in the picture. Very interesting 75 Strat that weighs a bit. I mean, it's old and stuff. I'd buy one of the Kaufmanns. I haven't played it, but I don't know. It rings, but I'd buy a Kaufmann. That doesn't have anything to do with Fender, but you know, sometimes the old stuff isn't, it's just old. We've got some old acoustics, more oldie Strats, some beautiful arch tops from collections that were purchased. So yeah, if you got a very, very unique old ass guitar, maybe you can sell it here, but you can also buy them. So we're gonna head upstairs. Now folks, is this an atmosphere or what? Make a day of it. If you've saved up your money and you have thousands to spend on an instrument, make sure you're buying the right one. Contrast, compare, test. And here you can get into a room by yourself with your buddy and check it out. get the next one. Check it out. They make sure you have enough privacy. And look at this, a beautiful wall of Eastman. Sometimes they even do limited editions together with manufacturers. So here inside you see the Fellowship of Acoustics. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. And here, the inlays are actually the silhouette of the house. Which is pretty cool. So, and this Eastman is at $12.98. That's not bad at all. For this tiny little, is it a parlor? That's a solid guitar for the money. Nice. So loads of Eastman. Their distributor is from the Netherlands, so of course they work together. There is quite a good collection here of Taylors, Maton I see, all the different kind of Taylor sizes. There's Gilt, oh my god, Takamine, I mean Blue Ridge. If it's acoustic, you'll likely find it here. Someone's playing beautifully. What do we have on this wall? Don't even know what this brand is, but that looks neat. What is this? Melroy. Nice. And more Loden. And here we got a wall of Furch, or not quite the full wall. Beautiful Furch guitar for $1,000. And here we got the little Jane, the one that you can fold up, and then whatever this is. Why would someone do this? It's all inlay. For $12,500. I don't know. But look, if that's your kind of thing, where else are you gonna find it? Gorgeous. You think that was it? No, there are more acoustic rooms. Here we got pretty much the super high-end shit. We got some Collings. Sometimes these logos. Bourgeois. Thompson. Beautiful Collings. Oh my god, these. Some people drive cars for this kind of money. Now I've played briefly a, 9,000 euro Collings acoustic. And now I know. And sometimes you do this and your head goes, this is what I need in my life. Well, they allow you to do this, which is really the special thing. That's a weird ass headstock. That headstock just keeps on going for quite a while. What is this? This is a Dion? Not light. Oh, it's got a tiny hole here. Weird long headstock. Gorgeous black wood around the thing, and then the fretboard's beautiful. Nice. It sounds nice. 12,000? All I can say is, it sounds nice. And it looks like it's a bolt-on. I really don't want to trip and drop any of these. But then again, I'm really hoping they are insured. And look at this. What, wow. Wow. Whatever that is, it's just a big wow. Art. Guitar art. And this is, it's only 9.5 peanuts. I really think every guitar shop should have a big chandelier. I'm never, ever shopping at any shop anymore that doesn't have a fucking big chandelier. This is the big American room. We got all the beautiful tailors. And then a lot of the, I'm sorry, this is not my anti-G thing, but I mean, just like, why? Why? I don't get the acoustic Gs. They're just, with all the, and then there's birds here. Ugh. I understand, but I don't understand. Not my thing. Last room, we got Martins, of course. We cannot forget the Martins. 12-string Martins, other Martins. I don't like it when the guitars are crooked. What do we have? Is that a Martin? No, it is a Martin. And we know the Martins go up to like, 380,000 if you've got the ugly tree inlay. Nobody needs that. And then we have on this wall, we got more Martins. This is all Martins. That's it. It's all Martin. We have concluded our shop tour of the Fellowship of Acoustics. This is not comfortable. This is comfortable. What a shop tour experience. Make a day of it. Punish your wife by taking her here, or drop her off somewhere, or come by yourself with your buddies. But I think you walk away with knowledge of guitars that you can't really play anywhere else. Are you gonna buy something? That's up to you. You're gonna drop that amount of money? Up to you. But I love that there's a shop that does cater to that audience and that does cater to those types of luthiers, right? Of course, you can buy a budget guitar anywhere, you can buy a middle-of-the-road guitar anywhere, and there's many shops where you can test them, you might even just order them, send them back, all that. This is different. This is like a lifelong saving up and dream that you want to realize. And here, you can actually test them out before you buy. In a non-stress environment. In an absolutely beautiful, tiny Dutch town. Thank you, Fellowship of Acoustics, for hosting us. And we're gonna now film a couple of videos where I will put some of those guitars on amps, because I never have the chance to get them in the studio otherwise. So why not make some videos for you guys of that? That's coming up in the coming weeks. Thank you again for hosting us, Fellowship people. We're gonna have another coffee and then we're gonna film that for you. And then we're out of here. Links below, please sign up to the newsletter. That's very important so that we can bug you once in a while about stuff. Use deals, giveaways, videos you might have missed, that kind of stuff. And upcoming events, if we do those, all that. I'll put, of course, a link to the Fellowship of Acoustics website below, but the website is a thing to check out what they have. Coming here is the experience you need to make. It's worth the trip, it really is. Okay, that being said, animals at the end.